How to read a RACR. The RACR Academic Completion Report is the interactive tool that helps students to know exactly which courses they need to take in order to progress toward graduation. I'm Dr. Barbara Cobb. I'm here to help you at any time with reading RACRs and with other academic advising tasks. Your RACR is found on MyGate on your Teaching Advising tab. There are two ways to find your students in RACR. The first, if you already have advisees assigned to you, check the advising link on the left-hand side and click Advisee Listing. This will list all students who are currently assigned to you. The other way is to use Student Search. Put in the last name and the first name of the student or the M number and make sure that a term for which the student is eligible is listed. If the student is your advisee, you will see Release Advisor Hold. If the student is not your advisee, you will see in red, Yes. If you see the yes, but that student should be your advisee, contact the registrar's office. You may need to contact your chair or program coordinator first. When you look at the advisor information in MyGate, you will see the advisor listed under the student's program of study. You will also see on the right-hand side both the links for the RACR and for test scores. In the first block on RACR, you will see the major listed. Major may mean area. Keep in mind that at Murray State, an area is a comprehensive program of study. It does not require an additional minor. A major, on the other hand, does require an additional minor or a second major. A major or area must be declared by 45 credit hours. For a student with a major, a minor or a second major must be declared by 60 credit hours. If you have students who are over these limits and aren't sure what to do, please direct them to the Academic Advising website where there's a link on major exploration. That link will provide them with a series of pathways that will help them to discern what major or area or minor would be best suited for their needs. Also on that page you will see the cumulative GPA. You'll also see a degree progress bar. I recommend that you ignore this bar. For the most part, it does not help in terms of determining how close a student is to graduation. The next box on the RACR is the one that lists the student's particular degree: Bachelor of Science, Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Arts in Business, etc. The bulletin year is listed here. This is the year of the bulletin that is in force for this student. Keep in mind that a student can move forward to a new bulletin but cannot move backward to an older bulletin. Sometimes it's beneficial for a student to move forward to a new bulletin because requirements have changed. Keep an eye on changes that will affect your students as new bulletins are released. Remember that bulletins do expire. The credit hours and GPA requirements toward the major are also listed in this box. Keep in mind that all students need 120 credit hours for graduation, and at least 40 of those credit hours must be upper-level courses, 300 and above. Credits applied refers to all courses that have been completed and are in progress. Keep in mind that that might not be an accurate estimate of the student's completed credit hours. For example, you'll notice this student is listed as a freshman but has 36 credit hours. That's because some of those credit hours are in progress. The next box on the RACR is the University Studies box. University Studies requirements are listed in the University Bulletin in the chapter on academic degrees and programs. Be sure that you know what the University Studies requirements are for your students, and be sure that you know which courses they need to choose within University Studies to meet prerequisites and co-requisites for your program. If your program has specifically required University Studies courses, these will be included in a box later on the RACR. Make sure that students choose University Studies courses that will fulfill these requirements so that they're not taking more credit hours than they're going to need for graduation. If your student is in the honors program, the honors sequence replaces the University Studies sequence. Students in the honors program should take at least one honors sequence course per semester until they have completed the honors sequence. The next box on the RACR is the box for the major or the area. It will list the courses that are needed to complete that major or area. Each time when you start with a new bulletin, please check to make sure that your area or major is properly represented on the RACR. If you do see that there are problems, contact either Ashley or Leanna in the RACR office. The email address for The RACR office is included at the end of this presentation. The next box, if your student has a major rather than an area, will be the box for the minor. If your student has a second major, the second major will be listed here. Once again, just a reminder on the program-specific requirements, they will come up in separate boxes. So any program-specific requirements that are included in your program will add additional boxes to the RACR. Just make sure that you read carefully and make sure that all of those are accounted for as you're helping your student to make plans. The last box on the RACR is the unrestricted electives, additional hours toward degree. Please look carefully at this box. Transfer courses that have not been identified as direct equivalencies or transfer courses that have come in that haven't yet been evaluated will end up in this box. Often there are courses listed there that can count toward university studies, toward the area, toward a major, toward a minor. It's up to us as academic advisors to take a good hard look at those courses and figure out where they can apply. We can use the course exception form, which is found on registrar forms, in order to have these courses moved, substituted for other courses, included as unrestricted elective, however we want to have them apply. Use the course exception form to make that happen. A course will populate into RACR in the first slot for which it is appropriate. It may be that you want it to count in a different place. It may be that it may count in more than one place but is not being recognized as counting in both places. If this is the case, please contact the RACR office. The RACR office can help you to adjust it. It may too be that it populates into the first place where it could count, but that you want it to be counting in a different place. Again, contact the RACR office. They will help you in order to adjust the RACR to best meet the student's needs. If you see AAPR beside a requirement in the area major or minor, this means that that program includes advisor-approved electives. Advisor-approved electives are electives that, this is pretty obvious, must be approved by an advisor. The course exception form is used in order for an advisor to approve electives so that then they will be included on the RACR. If your program does not want to have advisor-approved electives, your program can change the wording in the bulletin so that your students will have a list of already approved electives so that an advisor doesn't have to fill out the course exception form. Work with your department chair if you wish to change your bulletin copy to eliminate advisor-approved electives. The what if allows a student or you to see how a student's program would change if you change degree, area, major, minor, concentration, or bulletin year. To use the what if, choose the options that you want. These options will populate into this box, and then click up here to process the what if form. What you will then have is a RACR with this alternative program for your student. You or your student can use this to see if a different program of study will help the student to achieve his or her career goals more efficiently or more effectively by changing program. The Notes feature is also very helpful. It's found on this tab here. When you click Notes, you will see any notes that any advisors have already made on your student. For example, here, I have used notes to list the courses that my student and I have agreed that my student should take for the coming semester. This produces a lovely permanent record of what my student and I have discussed, so that if my student then registers for 12 credit hours of underwater basket weaving, I can come back and say, but student, we agreed that you were going to take German philosophy, English communications, and psychology that semester. That's why you're not on track to graduate now. To make notes, just click the Add Note link and add the note. These notes will then be there for your student in the future. Keep in mind that notes can be seen by a student and by anyone else who has access to RACR. So other academic advisors could see this. If your student changes major or area, then the new advisor would be able to see the comments that you'd made in the past. Please be familiar with the Academic Advising website. Academic Advisor trainings are posted on there, as well as a lot of information for your students, like who is my academic advisor, what does an academic advisor do, what are my responsibilities as a student in terms of academic advising. One of the mottos that we use is, we advise, you decide. It is up to the student to make sure that the student makes wise decisions to get that student toward graduation. We as advisors are here to make sure that they have the best information possible to get there. If you have questions about RACR or need help in fixing one of your students' racers, msu.racer@murraystate.edu is the email address that you will use. Please feel free to contact me at any time for help. Thank you very much.